floor. This is my apartment. It's a bit windy. Usually my bomb shelter used as a storage room. This is also storage that I had to take out. This is my bomb shelter. I put here a sofa. I slept here last night actually because who knew what's gonna happen, how things are gonna unfold. To close it, you have to really shut it. Sorry about the noise.
There are many laws about how you designed this kind of spaces. You need to put a different window. You need to get permit from a special unit in the army that you show them all the plans that you do for the safe room, and they need to approve it before you get the license to build the building.
When we talk about weaponry in today's age, most of us think of a bullet. And then after a bullet, some of us can think what a bomb looks like. A lot of us will think of spy versus spy and a little ball that looks like a bowling ball. Most of the weaponry in today's day and age, we're talking about a payload that it weighs in kilos and tons. Kilos and tons of explosives.
Most of the missiles will hit the streets between the buildings. It's amplified the explosion and the shockwave.
And the shockwave, what most people are not aware of, is what kills most people, because that shockwave literally tears apart most of our innards if you're nearby.
That's why when you design the safe room, you'll see that the outer wall of the safe room is thicker than the rest of the walls, between 30 to 35 centimeters.
So when we talk about the projectiles and what's the difference when it comes to Iran, Iran is a standard military industry. That's the first difference. The second thing is that when you're building something inside a standard military industry with advanced machinery, you can put together the warhead together with the body of it, together with the motor of it, in a way where it goes to further distance and with a heavier payload. And what was fired into Israel could be payloads anywhere from 100 kilo to a ton or two. Those are heavy payloads. A ton or two is a payload which can destroy essentially a whole neighborhood because of the shockwave and the effect. It would make all of the houses fall down, because it makes it essentially do like what you would call a mini, like an earthquake.
This is a residential building. We'll try to see the shelter in there, so it's not a public one. It does not appear on those maps.
Basement bomb shelters, meaning that they're built into the basement. You go downstairs, you go into the basement. It's a special concrete heavy room that also has certain capabilities against WMD, weapons of mass destruction, certainly chemical and biological, and perhaps maybe, I don't think so, nuclear. So in my house, there's no shelter. That's one kind of shelter that exists, meaning you have a lot of places that do not have a shelter. It means that they were built in between the end of the law for a bomb shelter and before the law for a safe room.
You also have the mamad, which is the safe room that you have inside the apartment. You have the mamak, which is the safe room for the floor that needs to serve all the apartments in one floor.
And block it so that once we close it, like the terrorists will try to come in, they won't be able to open the door handle.
Every time there's a siren, you meet all the neighbors, which is cool.
When there is no war, like they use this as a playroom.
As a playroom?
Yeah, like the kids in this apartment.
In Israel, when you build the light rail, the underground rail, and you build all of the different capabilities, you build them as mass bomb shelters.
There's also very old public shelters.
That's a sign for a public shelter.
That's the sign for the public shelter?
Yeah. Wow, it's huge.
It's huge, huge. These doors. There's fans all over to keep air circulating.
Right.
What is that? Is that for like water?
Yeah, that's water.
Ah, showers.
Look, we have toilets. Probably don't want to use them.
The public shelters have bathrooms, yes. I don't know if they're still working, but they have bathrooms. Because they built it like 60, 70 years ago.
So initially it was only built down south in the area surrounding the Gaza Strip. If you don't have a safe concrete area to get into, then you are going to be in the open air, and that's much more dangerous. So what they started to build is concrete shelters. Most of the ones down south, if not all of them, have been painted with murals by really famous mural artists, because it's supposed to help people to calm down, because you literally have 5-10 seconds to get into the shelter.
During October 7 massacre, The terrorists used those places as death traps because there were many people hiding there, and then the terrorists came and threw grenades inside. You can imagine the effect of a grenade in such a small place with many people.
Just look how many bullets, look at that. And you're saying this is a grenade?
Yeah, that's a grenade.
Ugh.
You literally have parks that are children's play parks where they've made portions of the play park out of concrete so that if there's a siren, the kid is playing inside a caterpillar made out of concrete and he can stay inside the caterpillar. You have places like that both in Sderot and in Netivot.
So what was really strange about the attack last night was that it was the first time that we heard on the news it will take between 6 to 8 hours for the drones and the missiles to reach Israeli soil. Okay, so what are you doing now? Like, you know that they're on the way to Israel, but there's nothing you can do and you just need to wait.
I didn't feel the difference in preparation. I did feel a difference in dread. For many years, we've understood that Iran has enormous capabilities, but you always wonder, maybe we're wrong, maybe they have something that we don't know, maybe our interceptors won't intercept, and that kind of dread I've not felt, not against Hamas, not against Hezbollah.
You know, when it comes down to it, when you sleep in a bomb shelter and you don't know the scale of the attack, you can't really know if you're safe. If you're safe in a bomb shelter, it's supposed to protect you. It's supposed to keep you safe. That's what a bomb shelter is for. That's a terrifying reality.